Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. Geeky sitting this video out. She is again out and about doing Christmas stuff because we're getting close to Christmas. So you're stuck with me in this video. I'm going to talk about how in 2024, only 15% of Steam users' time was spent playing new games. Everybody's playing old games. Very, very interesting. We're gonna talk about this. It's pretty interesting stuff, guys, and there could be a number of reasons for this. Of course, we know there's been a lot of backlash to AAA titles, a lot of the new games coming out people are not excited about. A lot of people kind of noping out of the video game industry, or at least the mainstream video game industry. They're going back and they're playing their back catalog of titles. Maybe they bought on Steam, you know, they have sales. People buy games for a couple bucks and then they forget they bought them. I've done this. I was going through my Steam library. I'm like, oh my God, I don't remember buying this game. And it was like part of a humble bundle or something. Maybe I got like 5 years ago. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even realize I had this. I didn't realize I had it. So we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about the reasons, maybe speculate as to the reasons. Of course, you know, X has its own theory, which is current AAA titles are slop and people would rather play old stuff. We'll talk a little bit again about Gen Z going back to older games, which I think is very interesting too. They're going back and playing retro games, or they're just sticking with tried and true classics that they enjoy, like, you know, Roblox or Fortnite or something like that. So before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, check out clownfishminus.com. We got merch out there. We've got exclusive content out there. Thank you very much for the support. You can also get that content on clownfishtv.locals.com. This is coming from PC Gamer, and I gotta give a hat tip to Pirate Nation. I hope it's Pirate Nation, not Pirate Nation. Pirate Nation, who put this up yesterday. Then I went out and found the PC Gamer article, and we'll go to the comments on his thread here in a little bit. Only 15% of all Steam users' time was spent playing games released in 2024. Steam's end-of-year review of what we play and how we play makes for some interesting reading, says PC Gamer. The Steam end-of-year review always throws up some interesting numbers, and with 2024 stats out now, it prompts some interesting reflections on how we game both individually and en masse. On a personal level, it turns out I played about 50% fewer games on Steam than last year. So the author's saying because of Game Pass and emulation and the Nintendo 3DS XL. So yeah, going back and playing older games. Well, turn-based stealth and detective games made up a big part of his personal jam. The really interesting stuff is on the macro scale. It shows that Steam users spent just 15% of their total playing time in games that launched in 2024. 47% of the total playing time on Steam was spent on games released in the last 1 to 7 years, while a sizable 37% of time was spent in games that have been out for 8 years or more. So what do we make of this? Are people just not buying new games anymore? I think that's a big part of it. Not like they were. Plus, you know, live service games or games that allow, you know, mods or whatever, they have a longer shelf life, right? It's not like the Nintendo days where you go buy a cartridge and you'd beat that game and then you would wait until your birthday and get another cartridge, another game to beat. Those days are over. Now it's like, okay, this game, you know, can last indefinitely. It's the everlasting gobstopper. Look at, you know, Minecraft or Gmod or anything like that. They said it's probably not the case. In fact, that 15% is a significant increase. Okay, over the 9% playtime spent in 2023 on new games released that year. I blame Pal World. So 2024 has actually seen a bit of a bounce back, but still, it's not great, right? In the overall scheme of things, they said, yeah, there's Helldivers 2, Delta Force, Banana, Black Myth Wukong. It has led the charge with some eye-watering concurrent player numbers on Steam chart. What is Black Myth Wukong doing? Damn. Yeah. 24-hour peak. 120,000 people. A lot more people playing this than playing Suicide Squad, right? Current state of live service games may play its part in why the time spent in new games numbers aren't higher. Service games make up the vast majority of Steam's most played charts, with long-established titles like Counter-Strike, Dota 2, and PUBG ruling the roost for years. Meanwhile, as Ubisoft can attest with its Skull and Bones struggles and alarmingly abrupt closure of XDefiant is becoming increasingly challenging and risky for a new live service game to break through to the market. There have been some breakouts like Marvel Rivals and Path of Exile 2. For the most part, players stick religiously to the ongoing games they've already invested tons of money and time into. That's true. If you buy a game, or even if it's a free-to-play game and you've dumped, hundreds or thousands of dollars into that game, and that's like your main game, you play that all the time, yeah, you're going to spend a lot of time playing it, right? And I think MMORPGs were kind of the first big blow to the cycle of like buying every new game that comes out. Because again, you can spend an indefinite amount of time in Warcraft or Final Fantasy 14, yeah. So another factor is Steam has over 200,000 titles as of today, dating back decades, which dwarfs the 18,000 or so released in 2024. Playing games on Steam is effectively playing games on PC, which covers everyone from old-timers revisiting their favorite CRPGs from the 90s to hundreds of holdouts who maintain that Civilization 4 is the best one. With all that in mind, that 15% of playing time on games released in 2024 sounds about right. It's impressive. I don't think it's that impressive. Because if it was that impressive, they would be drumming that up a little bit. IGN does. They said just 15% of Steam users' playtime was spent in games released in 2024, but that's actually up from last year. Yeah, last year was catastrophic. I think we covered it last year. And but there wasn't really a whole lot on the PC side this year we had a lot of really good releases, objectively speaking, a lot of good indie releases, and I think that definitely helped. Plus, the console scene's not great right now, right? There's no new console really. Switch 2 eventually. PS5 Pro, yeah, okay, it's a 5.5. It's like it's. You know what I'm saying? And they're saying console sales this year for Christmas are going to be really, really bad. IGN says, clearly many Steam players are happy sticking with older games, and Steam's most played list reinforces that. The top 3 most played games on Steam by concurrent players right now are Counter-Strike 2, PUBG, and Dota 2, all old games. Other older games in the top 10 include Naraka Blade Point, I've never played that, GTA 5, Rust, and Apex Legends. In April, data revealed that games that were at least 6 years old account for more than 60% of playtime in 2023 across PC and console. The top game across all major platforms was Fortnite. That makes complete sense. And I don't get it. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't get the fascination with Fortnite at all. Like, I really, truly don't get it. I know it's popular with kids. It's sort of become this multi-purpose game, kind of like Roblox, where it's doing a lot of things it wasn't intentionally designed to do. It's become a lot more than what it started out as. I just don't get it. I mean, even compared to other hero shooter games, like I don't get Fortnite. I don't get. Is it marketing? Is that what the thing? Like, is it all the cross promoting with all the different brands? I have no idea. But I truly don't get it. They said, yeah, as has been expressed by a video game analyst and CEO, publishers are finding it increasingly hard to wrestle gamers away from the games they already play and have spent money in. Yeah, no, I agree with that. So let's go out to Pirate Nation's thread here. And we have, this isn't sustainable considering the development costs of AAA games. That's true. Slop is being rejected. People would rather play older games than newer ones. Why do you think that is? Well, that is factoring into it. Again, it's up this year, but there were some good releases this year, and they're sort of glossing over that, aren't they? Right? Why is it down so low? Like, it should be nothing that's come out in the last 5 years can dethrone, a 10-year-old game. You know what I'm saying? It's very weird. And it just shows that, people just don't, I think it shows that people don't trust the new stuff. They're not switching to the new stuff. Plus, a lot of the new live service games, I mean, honestly, they're, I think, a lot more predatory than the games that sort of fell into it, right? Like, I mean, Fortnite was always designed to monetize you, I'm sure, but it wasn't, I don't think it's as egregious as it is right now. Same with Roblox. It just kind of morphed into that. I think that was probably the long game, but now these games are coming out and they want like instant Fortnite money, instant Roblox money. Right out of the gate. This person says, as a console gamer, It feels good that Sony doesn't share our usage statistics like we're some kind of lab rat. I don't think I played any 2024 games. About right. I did play U-Boat 2024. Our individual experiences matter little. That's true. Games are a mass market requiring mass purchases. AAA gaming is dying by DEI. That is true. Stop the lectures. That is true. And people can argue that's not the case. I'm like, no, there are several games that have come out in the last couple of years that should have been bigger hits, and a lot of gamers rejected them. We're talking normal people. We're not talking the people who are online all the time following this stuff. We're talking just average consumers who are taking a look at Suicide Squad and saying, no, we don't want that. Concord, no, we don't want that. Marcus here says, in 2024, I completed Splinter Cell Conviction, Hitman Absolution, Dragon Age Origins, Dragon Age 2, and I'm in the middle of Dragon Age Inquisition. Yeah, I'll stop here. I have a huge back catalog. Yes, and I have no need for 2024 releases. I can get what I want in a future sale. That's true. A lot of it's kind of like streaming, right? The downside to Steam is that a lot of us have been trained to wait for sales. A lot of us do not buy new games at $50, $60, $70 because in a few months they'll be $20 or $10. I mean, Hogwarts Legacy, granted it's a year old, it was a $70 game. I think it's like $20 now or $15 now on Steam for the winter sale. So if you wait a year, because this is a big time sink, right? If you wait a year, you can get the games cheaper, or you can get them in a Humble Bundle. As long as that lasts. I don't know how long Humble Bundle's going to be around, but for Steam, I only played Pal World, Helldivers 2, Shadow of the Erd Tree, and Black Myth Wukong from this year. There's a lot of subpar content this year, and it's usually wiser to wait for a sale since few games are must-buys on day one. That's true. They also patch the games. They also fix the games. Look at No Man's Sky. I mean, I know I keep bringing that one up, but that game was a disaster when it launched, and it's so good now. And they've had so many updates. The industry should already know, even without those figures, love to see the refund rate on games purchased last year by year of release. That'd be interesting. Yeah. This person says, I don't think it's that bad. 2024 has to compete with everything that came before, literally everything. Another way of looking at it is 85% of all Steam time was on the 20 plus years Steam was around. That is also true. And what I worry about with Steam is that you don't actually own your games, right? And I'm like, if Gabe ever decides to sell, what happens to your library? What if, what I'm saying? Like that's a concern I have, because I'm like, man, I got thousands of dollars tied up in Steam. What happens if they decide to nope out? So this is coming from The Guardian, and we covered this before, but why are younger generations embracing the retro game revival? They said that Gen Z are getting in on the nostalgia with retro games. They're talking about retro gaming events and videos doing much better on TikTok, and it's kind of crazy that people are lining up to play the Wii Fit. Are you serious? But they said the games are simpler in some ways, harder. They're self-contained. They don't patch them. It's, the system requirements are minimal. You have a console, you turn it on. You don't have to struggle with everything. And just kind of the nostalgia of it, right? It just feels more like video games now. A lot of them don't feel like games. They feel like immersive movies. I'm looking at you, Naughty Dog. Or they feel like gambling. I'm looking at you, Epic Games. They don't really feel like games, like that you're being challenged to get the best score or complete the game or whatever. It feels like there's something else going on with them, but that's just my opinion. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up, guys. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.